We're going to be recreating iconic scenes from the film Obsession with nothing but an iPhone and a bunch of stuff from the Office studio. These are the scenes that we are going to try and replicate with the iPhone, and I'm pretty sure that you guys are pretty familiar with these scenes. And not only that we're trying to shoot this with just an iPhone, we're going to be shooting this only in our office. But before we get into all of that, why Obsession? Now, it is common knowledge that this film has managed to gross over $400 million in the global market with a budget that is just around 750,000 US dollars. And that just kind of proves that if you want to execute something creatively, you don't really need a big load of money. So they have low budget, we have even lower budget. And with the ever-improving mobile phone camera quality these days, we thought, why don't we do this ourselves?
Alright, so this is the first scene that we're filming for the recreation of the Obsession movie. We have this scene where Celine is going to be doing the glint in the eye recreation. It's a VFX shot, actually, but we are trying to match the lighting as much as possible. Since we don't have access to like a motel-style location, Porsche, whatever. Porsche? So what we're using is our storage room. And the little lights at the back, which are supposed to be the hanging ceiling lights, we have replaced them with our mini lights. We have diffusion on top, so it is a little bit softer. We've got a light, the big soft box at like 5% power, bouncing off of whatever wall we have on the side, which is dark. But it's good enough for this scene because she doesn't need to be lit super nicely. It's just enough to catch her eyes so that we can track that later in post. This side of your face is perfect. Shadows are perfect, lights are perfect. This side, your shoulder is perfect, too much light on your face. I think you gotta fluff up the hair so that it doesn't fall too much on your face.
This is the worst set ever. I can't take it seriously. I can't take it seriously. Okay. Get it out, get it out, get it out.
You're a piece of
You're a freak! Stop being
And the light.
I know you like me, Bear.
That was good. That was good. Cut. Yeah, I think that one was good. I think that was the best one. What the hell? Started acting and everything.
And that's the frame that we've tried to recreate as close as possible with the resources that we had.
So let's start with the first shot we shot, which was basically shot inside a storage room. It's really bright and vibrant. The colors don't match at all. I'm also going to open a reference frame. So this is what we are referring to. And what we would have to do is build towards that. So we're here, we're going to have to go here. And the way I did it is pretty simple. I'm going to speed run through this so I don't bore you guys. But if you want to know a full tutorial, we'll build that as well. So straight out of camera, without any grades, this is what it would have looked like. Then the main thing comes in because this scene is supposed to be really dark, like a silhouette essentially. So what I did is I created a mask of just Celine with a few magic tricks. So she becomes a silhouette, but notice how her eyes are still staying there and the light that's falling on her shoulders is still staying there. We're getting that look just almost 100% accurate. Very, very close, especially when we look at that build up that we started with. Of course, there's a little bit more to change, but let's continue with this for now. I've created some power windows that are tracked to her, meaning her shoulders will always stay exposed in terms of the lighting being higher, and also the left side of her face will still have some exposure. So let me show you what I mean by that. So this is the left side of her face. If I increase the opacity, you can start seeing more of her face. And then of course, for each eye, we actually have it. So if you see, this is eye on the left and then the eye on the right should be right there. So that is what is giving us this sort of glint in the eye, and I think this looks really, really cool. Then I added just a simple curves to make it a little bit darker. I added a vignette to take away focus from here, push more towards here. I corrected the panels on the sides that were too distracting, and I added a bit of grain and a vignette to complete the look. So that's your before and that's your after.
I know you like me, Bear.
Pretty cool.
Next, we move on to the backwards walk scene. Recreating the set for this scene was tricky. So as Umar was taking charge of filming and directing, I then proceeded to design the set with Jazz and Celine. So as you can see, we made use of the door frame, and then we have the lighting at the back, and then we've got something that looks like a curtain and, you know, the lamp and everything, just to have the look and feel that the film had. Hopefully, we managed to recreate it as close as possible.
You watched the scene?
Okay, stand still, stand straight. And you're looking at Jazz, essentially. Her mouth's like kind of open, but she's just like contorted a little bit. 3, 2, 1, action. And go. Oh! Oh! This might be it. This might be it. Someone starred. I'm gonna save this video. This might be it. This might be it. Okay.
Again, there are some differences because it's in the office and not in the house, but I think we've managed to recreate it as close as possible. The most important thing is the lighting and the performance, I feel.
The edit for this was pretty straightforward and simple. You just take your clip that you've shot in the correct order, and then you're just gonna go into your speed change and just hit reverse for it to play backwards. This right here is our reference frame. So Tarsh did a really great job at recreating that sort of set design. So we have this window coming out from the right side with the light coming in from behind it. The doorway is in the exact same spot with a warmer light behind. And then finally we have a lamp off to the left. So again, we didn't do a one-to-one recreation here, but we try to get the vibe right. What will do the heavy lifting is going to be the color grade. So again, CST in, CST out. That gives us our regular Rec 709. I've done the base correction, which I brightened up the image a little bit. Then my white balance on the right side is what I adjusted. So if you take a look at it this way, we basically went from this warmer tone here and we cooled it a little bit. Next, I added the tone curves. This affects very subtly. It slightly warms up the other edge, the outer edges. Then I added the film look creator to get that bluish look. Then I added some warm hues. This is before and this is after. If we refer back to the actual video, you can see the colors are a little bit more desaturated. Once again, the same blur that we added for the other video. Then we added our LUT to make this a little bit more grungy and dark. I added a vignette. Then I added warm tones to the overall image because remember, our reference is very, very warm. So it's getting slightly closer there. Then we added some more exposure to make the right side a little bit darker, and then the exposure 2 to brighten up some of the highlight spots. So it's really green now. Obviously, we're gonna have to fix that. We're gonna make it a little bit warm. So this is our channel here. So come in here and we're going to remove some of those greens just like that. We can't get a one-to-one on this because we didn't have an actual window lighting setup, but this is the closest we could actually get. But regardless of that, the shot on this looks pretty damn cool. And I think we nailed it. Here they are side by side playing on screen. That's really, really cool. This is more of the effect recreation.
Up next, the car scene.
All right, so this is the final shot for the day. We actually have the car shot that we wanted to get right. So right here, we have the car parked. We're gonna have the lights set up already. So there's an orange light that matches the ambience around us. There's a cooler set tone for the moonlight that'll light up the front of the face of the subjects, both of them. And then we have one light off in the corner there that's going to light up the background as well for the orange-ish light. We have the shot set up already. Again, 48 mm, 24 FPS. We're going with 1/48. ISO and white balance have been set for the environment, and that's where she's gonna pop up to. So let's do this. You guys ready?
Do you like me? Because if you do, now's the time to tell me.
I like you as a friend.
Okay. Good night.
That was so good. What was that? I don't even feel like we need a safety. That was wow.
And if you guys saw the take, it's pretty much a one take. That's how insane Celine's acting is.
All right. Very happy. That's a wrap. Yeah. That's a wrap. That's great.
Well done, everybody.
Honestly, this was the hardest to recreate because the setting we were working with was an indoors car park and the lighting was obnoxious. Everything was super well lit, so this would be heavily reliant on the color grade, which is why you can see my node tree went absolutely crazy. Just to show you a reference, this is the reference we're working with. So the shot looks about the same when she's at the car window here, but the tones are extremely different. So let's go through this one by one. So again, CST in and our CST out. This is what we were working with. So not a terrible start. We lit it correctly, at least on the side of the face. We had a blue light off to the side, or the white balance slightly cooler, but in this case, obviously it's not blue enough. It wasn't bright enough to overpower the inside lights of the car park, so we have to build up from here. So what I ended up doing then is first our base correction. In our base correction, I brightened up the image. I changed the white balance to make it a little bit more blue. Then I added the film look creator where we start getting those teal colors. Next thing I did was add in some curves to make it darker. There's an issue with the orange here. It was extremely vibrant and saturated, which in the final one it isn't. It's a softer tone of orange. Okay, so then is where it gets crazy. So the issue I had here was this blue was nowhere near the teal we're looking for on the side of her skin on the right side, especially on this side. So the orange, we can get there. We can see that we're gonna get there, but the blue was nowhere near. Let me not tell you what this was in a second and then just proceed forward first. I'll come back to this in a second. So the tones we adjusted was to get the greens in the shadows. So you can see that that shifts the tones, especially for the car, the inside of the car. This is what it was before. This is what it's after. It's like that greenish sort of overall look for Obsession. Then I had the hue shift. Here's where we desaturated the shadows a little bit. Then I added the right window to make this darker so that the focus goes straight to her face. The left window, we made it darker as well. So it's a natural vignette that gets your eye closer to her as the talent. Then the side mirror right over here, I wanted to desaturate the greens from here, and I did that. I added our color grade on top to add the hues back in. Then I shifted hues again, this one more towards the blues here to teal, so you can see right after that it becomes more teal. Then we added our blur, because this is iPhone footage, not enough depth of field. I added a blur to the side so the focus goes just to her face. Then I added a second layer of grain. Then I windowed this out. So if you look at our reference, it's really dark in comparison, so I had to work around this. So I created a mask right over there around the window shape to make sure that we are getting that darkness fall off of her face. And then the last thing we added was curves here and a glow at the end to the lights there. But now you can see that she is quite dark, but this is intentional. So if we go back to this original frame, she's actually matching the vibrance almost 1-to-1. The only thing missing here is her skin tone right over here falls a little bit on the redder side. So if I turn on my qualifier, you can see that it's more on the reds right over here. So what I did was, remember this one that I didn't activate earlier? Let me just show you what happens when I turn that on. Boom and bow. Look at that. So now we got that proper teal fall off on her face, just on the right side of her face, yellow on the left side, which gives us the complete look. So if I do this, you can actually see our color palette exactly overlaps. So that's exactly a 1-to-1 recreation. Honestly, better than all the other shots. I'm super proud of this one. So we went from this to that, this to that. Absolutely incredible. And when we play back the scene,
All right, good night, freaking Nikki.
Ew, don't call me that.
I was kidding. I'm kidding.
You know I don't like that, Bear.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Do you like me? Because if you do, now's the time to tell me.
I like you as a friend.
Okay. Good night.
you can really see it sells that effect really, really well. Very proud of this.
So, can you really recreate a film with just an iPhone and filming it in your office? Yes, you can. But to really pull it off, you will need a Celine. Throughout this process, we learned to really appreciate the art of filmmaking, and to the entire Obsession team, mad respect for pulling off a whole film with the budget that you guys had. If you'd like for us to recreate any other films, please let us know in the comments, and don't forget to check out the Pocket Cinematic online course that will definitely help you elevate your mobile videography game. Till next time, bye bye.